Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be sorting out my bookshelves. I originally organised these right at the beginning of the year because we just moved in and I organised them as I like them. I do like my bookshelves as they are, but I have collected more books since then and it's come to the end of summer. I want to have a declutter before going into autumn and winter. So we're doing a massive book unhaul today, as well as reorganising just this bookshelf behind me where my main books are kind of all my favourites, all my colour coordinated books. Just going to be sorting out this part because one, that's all I want to sort out, and two, it is only coming up to 9:45 in the morning on a Saturday and I'm already sweating. The UK are currently dealing with a mini heat wave and I'm not dealing with it very well personally, and I want to get out of this office as soon as possible, and I just know that with reorganising my bookshelves it's going to take longer than planned and it's going to get very hot and sweaty, hence the hair up, no makeup look today. We're just here to be chill and to reorganise the bookshelves and do a bit of a book unhaul. So I'm going to take you guys along with me while I do that. So without further ado, let's hop into it. I'm going to quickly run through a few of the books that are already off these shelves that I'm going to unhaul that are in my unhaul pile already. You may already be familiar with some of these because I unhauled them in a couple of videos back, but I still haven't got rid of them yet. So just to run through, The Girls Are Good, I rated it 2 stars. Don't care for it. It's like a gymnastics sort of thriller, but it's not worth it. Grown Ups by Marion Keyes, just not one of my favourite Marion Keyes, so unhauling. The Do's and Donuts of Love by Adiba Jagira, just not my vibe unfortunately anymore, and I much prefer her other book, so I'm not going to keep this one. Set on You by Amy Lee, Mark picked out for my birthday bingo board and it just wasn't all that great. I don't need to keep it. I gave it 3 stars. Most of these books in my unhaul pile will be 3 stars or less because I just don't feel the need to keep all the books I've ever read. And this is a DNF, unfortunately. Mike Gale, The Legendary Girlfriend, just wasn't my cup of tea, sadly, because he is one of my favourite authors. It was his first ever book published in 1997, so I'm not surprised. Daisy Jones and the Six is going in the unhaul pile just because I gave it 3.5 stars and I just feel I'm never going to reread it. I'm not going to want to keep it, and it's going to take up space on my bookshelves. And when me and Mark start planning for a family in the future, the bookshelves behind me are going to have to be cut in half because this is turning into the baby's room. So I'm just going to be cautious going into buying books and keeping books from now on out, just so I don't have the overwhelming task of sorting out my entire book collection when that time comes. If I kind of keep it minimal as we go, that would be better. So I'm also going to unhaul The Year After You by Nina de Pass. Also 3 stars, a good YA but nothing spectacular. And then I'm also currently unhauling Beth O'Leary, The No Show, just because it, once again, it was like a 3 star, nothing really noteworthy for me to keep. So these are all the books I've kind of unhauled since January 2023. So those are staying in the unhaul pile. So without further ado, let's head to my bookshelves and let's see what other books I want to unhaul. What a beautiful angle. Hi, welcome to the bottom section of my bookshelves currently. These are all my YA books. So we're just gonna go through these and say a yes or no, whether I want to unhaul them or not. The first one I have is By Your Side by Casey West. I do want to keep it. A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, I gave 5 stars, so I'm going to keep this. I do want to reread it at some point and see if it's still a 5 star. Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson, a 4 star. Really enjoyed this book. Brought it after I read the ebook, so we'll be keeping. These are the 3 I'm not too sure on because they are stunning together as a little collection because they're all Emery Lord books and they all kind of perfectly go with each other, but I didn't love either of these 2. I only loved this one, so tough decision here, but I'm only going to keep this one. I'm going to unhaul both of these. Birthday by Meredith Rosso, 5 star, absolutely love this book and will be keeping. These aren't YA, but they fit perfectly there because they're just like small hardbacks. Philosophy by Elizabeth Day, will be keeping, already tabbed and written in. And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Fred Rotman, 5 star, absolute favourite book of all time, will be keeping. This is My America by Kim Johnson. Absolutely love this book. It's not spoken about on BookTube. Will be keeping. And then I have my 4 graphic novels of Heartstopper, which I will be keeping. Tweet Cute, I'm not too sure on. I enjoyed it, and it was a 4 star back when I read it, but will I ever reread it? Probably not. I'm being brutal here, guys. I'm going to unhaul this. Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson is one of my favourite Morgan Matson books, one of my favourite YAs of all time. I read it first in, I can't remember when I read it, back in way long time ago, and absolutely loved it, gave it 5 stars. Reread it like a year or so later and didn't love it as much, but I think that's maybe because it wasn't my first time reading it, but I still enjoyed it and I've kept it ever since. I'm still going to keep it. I have fond memories of this book. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera I am going to keep purely off the fact it was one of the books that featured in my reading book set across 24 hours in 24 hours, and it gained a lot of traction for my channel, so it has a special place in my heart. So I will be keeping. I did enjoy this book. I gave it a 4 star, so that's fine. Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett, one of my favourite Jen Bennett books. Do I want to keep it? I don't know. I don't know about this one. This is a YA book about 2 people who meet over the internet, they've never met before, and they end up kind of like meeting unconventionally. It is a good book. I enjoyed it. Will I ever reread it? No, but I like it on my shelves. I'm keeping it. Keeping. These are all the Jenny Han books, All the Boys I Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever Lara Jean. This is a 5 star. This was a 5 star, and this was like a 4. I'm going to keep this trilogy for now because it is a really cute YA, and I love the movies. Of course, I'll be keeping How to Die Famous by Benjamin Dean. Emily kindly got it signed for me by Benjamin Dean himself saying happy birthday, so this is a must keep. And then we're coming on to ones you can't really see, so I'll shift them over. Loveless by Alice Oseman is one of the only, I think the only Alice Oseman physical book, not a graphic novel, that I've actually enjoyed, so I'm going to be keeping this one. They've all fallen. A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Bernard. I love this book, and I counted it as one of my favourite YA contemporaries back in the day, but I'm going to unhaul this. I don't care for it. I don't ever kind of notice it on my bookshelves, so I'm going to unhaul this one. Keeping this one for sure, Hannah Ish's Guide to Fake Dating. Absolutely adored this book, or will be keeping for sure. Once again, the same with the Falling in Love montage. This was a gift from Emily, and I absolutely loved it, so I will be keeping this one. I'm going to unhaul this one. This is a book that I brought after I read it as an ebook and loved it so much that I got a physical copy. But I've never opened this book, and I've never thought to then collect the rest of the trilogy that I have read as ebooks as well. So it just kind of like stands by itself on my shelves, and I'm never going to read it again, and yeah, I think it could go to a better home. So I'm going to unhaul this one. A good YA book about OCD though, recommend. And then I'm going to unhaul Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. This is such a petty, whiny YA book that I don't think is needed in the Heartstopper universe, and although it is signed by Alice Oseman, I don't care for it enough, so I'm going to unhaul this one. So that is my entire YA shelf empty. A bit of a better angle now, we're on to all my adult shelves. So starting off, we've got Ghosts by Dolly Alderton. I didn't love this book, however it's the first ever book I got gifted from Emily, from a little writer Emily, and I just can't part of this book. I do want to give it another go at some point and see whether my reading tastes have changed since I first read this book in like 2020, so I'm going to keep this one. And then we have Taya Jenkins Reid's After I Do, which I will be keeping because I love this book. It was like a 4.5. Booked on a Feeling, I've recently read and absolutely loved, 4.5 once again. I hate this book, but I will never part of it. It's the book that got me into reading, so this is a massive keep. And then we're of course not getting rid of The Love Hypothesis because it's one of my favourite books of all time. To be fair, most of these I won't be getting rid of, but I'll just go through every book that I have in my book collection on this side of the bookshelves. The House of New Beginnings by Lucy Diamond. Absolutely love this book, will be keeping. The same with Summer at Shell Cottage. I love Lucy Diamond's works and I do want to collect them all, so I will be keeping this one. And the same with The Beach Cafe by Lucy Diamond, probably my favourite Lucy Diamond book I've read so far to date. Then we have an arc of Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk, which I will be keeping because I keep all arcs. I think they're such a precious little momentum of how far my channel has grown. And then we have one of my favourite romances of all time, Head Over Heels. It's a gymnastics romance and absolutely love it. Then we have Billy and Me by Giovanna Fletcher, one of my favourite books of all time, so we'll be keeping. I have 2 copies of this book. The other one will be coming up shortly. And then we have all of Giovanna Fletcher's books. Always with Love, which is the sequel to Billy and Me. And then we have You're the One I Want. I don't love this book, but they're all personally signed to me because I met her and got her to sign my entire Giovanna Fletcher collection, so they're all signed to me, so I can't get rid of any of them. Another tabbed up version of The Love Hypothesis, which I will be keeping. I think I'm keeping all of it. Actually, no. I'm going to unhaul One in a Million by Lindsay Kelk. I love Lindsay Kelk as an author, but this book just didn't hit it for me, and I don't remember anything about it, and I will never reread it, so I'm going to unhaul this one. But this is the one that's signed to me. I can't get rid of this one, can I? It's signed to me, personally. It's the one that I met Lindsay Kelk, Paige Toon and Giovanna Fletcher all together as a little trio, and this was Lindsay Kelk's newest book at the time, and I brought it and I got it signed. So I didn't want to keep this one, but I'm going to have to. What a shame. One I'm definitely going to be unhauling is One Night With You by Laura Jane Williams. I love the beginning of this book. This book was 5 star at the beginning. The first like 50 pages, chef's kiss, so good. And then the rest of it was so disappointing. Oh, do I keep it? I'm going to say no, I'm going to unhaul this one. The Lucky Escape by Laura Jane Williams, one of the last Laura Jane Williams books I enjoyed, and this was the first book I ever got sent by a publisher that was finished. So Avon Books sent me this when the book came out, so I have to keep this one. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I enjoyed, but I don't think it's worth keeping. I gave it 4 stars, but I don't actually remember much about it, and I read it this year. Like, I only read it a couple of months ago, so I'm gonna unhaul this one. I'm being brutal, guys, but I think it's about time. The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abby Dare, I am going to keep because this book really surprised me and I gave it 4 stars. And then Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, Pretending by Holly Bourne, and Giovanna Fletcher's Some Kind of Wonderful I'm all keeping. And that is another shelf empty. Let's go up to the top shelf, which I can keep the camera angle here. So from left to right again. A Man I Think I Know by Mike Gale, absolutely adored this book, will be keeping. The same with Half a World Away by Mike Gale. I want to say my favourite book of all time, all tabbed up and written in, so of course I will be keeping. 5 Years From Now is the book that I got signed when I met Lindsay Kelk, Giovanna Fletcher and Paige Toon. So this book is personally signed to me, and thank God, because this book is one of my favourite Paige Toon books of all time. Absolutely adore this book, so good. The Party Crasher by Sophie Kinsella, I read this year and gave it 4 stars, will be keeping. Really enjoyed that book. The Flat Share, the only Beth O'Leary book I've ever really liked, so we'll be keeping, and this is a gift from my friend Katie in my personal life, so we'll be keeping this one. Mike Gale, The Museum of Ordinary People, I gave it 4 stars, but it's not like my favourite Mike Gale book, but I want to have all Mike Gale books in my collection, so I'll be keeping this one. The Love Square by Laura Jane Williams, a 5-star Laura Jane Williams book, yay, we'll be keeping. The Ones We Fell in Love With, another one of my favourite all-time books by Paige Toon, so we'll be keeping. Of course, I'll be keeping A Man Called Uwe, and of course I'll be keeping All Boys Aren't Blue. If you've been around on my channel for a while, you will know why. I absolutely adore this book. Walking on Sunshine by Giovanna Fletcher, I will be keeping, and I want to reread and tab this book up because I read it as an e-arc on NetGalley way back before it got released, and then had the hardback on pre-order, and I never reread it, and I want to reread it, and it's another book that's signed. I think I have Giovanna Fletcher's signature in every single one of the books I own by her, which I'm not complaining about. And of course, I'll be keeping Olive. That is no question. Our Stop by Laura Jane Williams, the first Laura Jane Williams book I read, her debut. Absolutely adored this book. I read it as an audiobook and then brought the physical. Absolutely adore this book. And then the Illumicrate edition of The Love Hypothesis, I will be keeping. I got this at Yelp. How to Fail, one of my favourite non-fiction books of all time, I will be keeping. The Black Flamingo by Dean Atter, absolutely adore this book, all tabbed up, reread, absolutely adore it. Will be keeping. And again, with Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers, oh my god, all the books are falling. All tabbed up, reread, will be keeping forever. Love this book. It Ends with Us by Colin Hoover, I gave 5 stars last year. I don't want to keep it anymore. This is going in the unhaul pile. The Bride Test by Helen Huon, I know there's issues with it. Lily from Literary Lily has said there isn't actually that great a representation in this book, but I still really enjoy it, so I'm gonna keep it. And then my original book of Billy and Me, the first one I ever read, and I actually bent the spine. I read the book like this. That kills me to this day. But it's all tabbed and written in, so of course I'll be keeping. Dream a Little Dream by Giovanna Fletcher. Once again, another one of her standalone books that are signed and personalised to me, so we'll be keeping. A Sweet Mess by Jason Lee, of course we'll be keeping. And then, of course, I'll be keeping The Dead Romantics by Ashley Colston. Of course I will, why wouldn't I? And now we're up to kind of like the final shelf. I'm kneeling right now, so sorry for the bad angle. Let's go left to right again. The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary, I'm gonna get rid of, unfortunately. This was a gift from Leandra. I want to give you something because you made such an amazing hopper form for us, and I can't wait until October, let the magic begin. I can't. I don't want to get rid of this book because the message is so cute, but I didn't love this book. I don't know what to do. I'm going to put it in the unhaul pile for now and I'll decide later. Ooh. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I'm shocked, and you may be shocked, but I'm keeping this book. I absolutely loved it. Of course I'll be keeping This Close to Okay by Lisa Cross Smith, one of my favourite books. Absolutely love this book. And of course I'll be keeping Anxious People by Frederick Mockman. Absolutely love this book as well. The book that started the series, the books set in 24 hours, read in 24 hours. This is the book that started it all. Absolutely adored this book, will be keeping. I didn't love The Island Home by Louis Page, so I think I'm going to be unhauling this one. This was kind of gifted to me by a publisher, by Penguin Books, and unfortunately I just didn't love it. So I'm going to unhaul this one, but keep the note inside. Malibu Rising, although I didn't love, this has a sentimental value to me because I got it in Bath when me and Mark went a couple of years ago, which I vlogged, so I'll link that up above if you're interested. And it's a signed first edition, so of course I'm going to keep it. It was good. The first half was like 5-star worthy and the second half wasn't. That's all I have to say about that one. Of course I'll be keeping Tom Hanks's book. This is his first ever kind of collection of short stories, so I will be keeping this one. it is signed, yeah, it's signed by him, so I need to keep it. I didn't love it, but it's Tom Hanks, and if you didn't know, I love Tom Hanks. So I will be keeping Black Butt by Mateo Asco Paul, Absolute Daughters book, and it's an exclusive signed edition, so it's staying. A shocker, but a brand new favourite, all-time faves of mine, 5 stars, Girlfriends by Holly Bourne, Absolute Daughters book, so I will be keeping, although I hate the spine colour, it's absolutely disgusting. Another George M. Johnson book I will be keeping, We're Not Broken. And I will be keeping Seven Husbands of Evan Hugo because I did really enjoy this book. Then this is Mark's Baymax, so of course I'll be keeping that. And then the last one I have is The Joy of Small Things by Hannah Jane Parkinson, which is a collection of articles from The Guardian about the joy of small things. And I started reading this book and I didn't love it, but I feel like I could love it one day. So I kind of want to keep it. So I'm going to keep it. Those are all the books I kind of own, bar, let me just tilt you up quickly. Really bad angle here. Bar the ones I've read in September so far and August because I don't have a place for them. So I can take these ones out now because I'm going to reorganise my bookshelf. So I can stack these in a colour-coded order, which I'll be keeping. And then the other one I will be keeping that's just put up there because I don't have a home for it yet is Matthew Perry's memoir, which I obviously will be keeping. And this I read in September, so stay tuned for my September wrap-up if you want to hear my thoughts on it. But for now, it stays up here because this is where I put all my finished books for the month up here so I can keep a tally of them. And then talk about them at the end of the month. So I have a lot of books to reorganise on my bookshelves. So let's get crack-a-lacking and reorganise our bookshelves. So if you can see, that back pile is UNHAUL. These are all the ones I'm keeping. Let's now organise my bookshelves. Oh, just as a heads up, before I had the bottom shelves YA and all the rest were adult. I'm just going to completely mix them all together to make the most beautiful frame of bookshelves. So let's get started.
Took a chance on a good thing, yeah. Now I got you on my right wing. Making love, now it's casual.
Didn't realise you couldn't see what I was actually doing. I'm currently organising from black to white and then I'll go down to colour. I didn't realise you couldn't see. So let's go.
My life that I wanna be with, no more seeking. I'm sure I'll always choose you first. You're my baby.
Tripping over my books. While I have the space to have books facing outwards, I'm going to do just that because they look so cute. I'm very happy with how this shelf has come out. All my blue books, all my blue books. I've got a lot of blue books as well. That's one thing I definitely know that I've got a lot of. Is a blue book.
Yeah, too rare to find, 'cause you're one of a kind. No words to describe.
Oh, and then we can redo like a... I can't have two facing out though, I've got scissors, can I?
We just vibing, relaxing in the sun till we gazing at the stars that we're counting and counting. 내가 항상 옆에 있을 테니 걱정 따위 필요 없어. Ain't going nowhere 약속. It's no joke. 너 만나고.
Because this is a purple facing, we can get rid of that stupid yellow spine. And because it's yellow text, we can merge into the yellow. Whoa. Nice, okay. You can probably put like, because this one's quite a bright yellow, you can do that. And then probably this. Like that. Yes. You don't usually put purple and yellow next to each other, but this is RachelCerys's rainbow bookshelves, so I can do what the fuck I want. And then it's quite a bright yellow, so let's go into Grown here. Then Pretending, then Olive, and then these two here, and then we're kind of at a standstill of like, where the fuck do I put this green? And a blue, I need to put a blue heartstopper, and this is a green heartstopper. Something like that. I don't love how that looks.
No words to describe.
I hate green books.
An angel in disguise. I wanna make you mine. I wanna make you mine. I wanna make you mine.
I think I've done it for now. Yay! So let me give you a little pan of what my bookshelves now look like. Black to white to blue to green to yellow to red. Oh no, wait, I've missed it. Maybe I need to move that up and then go red to pink. Oh, I might need to do that quickly. I'm going to do that off camera and then get back to you. Okay, take two. Black to white to blue to green to yellow to reddy orange to pink to purple. Yes! Look how cute it is! I'm so glad I didn't put any makeup or do my hair because I am a sweaty mess, if you couldn't tell. My bookshelves are now newly organised with all my recent reads and all the books I want on haul, ready to start the next season once the heat wave is over, because I'm going to go for a shower now. I'm sweating so much. I'm hoping we get a cooler weather soon and I can look at my bookshelves in the autumn and winter and be happy with the decluttering I did. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from weekly reading vlogs, monthly TBRs, monthly wrap-ups, and any other bookish content that you can think of, like this one. I usually have it on this channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.